Hey ladies and gents, this is Dois coming at you from PowerLordsReturn.com with the review of the Louisiana Rougarou action figure from Creature Replica by Jean St. Jean and sculpted by Jean St. Jean. So let's take a look at this guy without further ado. A Rougarou is a werewolf. It sounds like something that Scooby-Doo might say, but no, it's a werewolf, and I'm assuming it's from Louisiana. And the first thing I want to say is that the sculpt on this guy is amazing. Okay, Jean St. Jean does not disappoint. You can see all the detail you might need or want in the fur. You can see veins in the arms. Just lovingly sculpted in every conceivable way, including the soles of the feet. Good stuff. Kudos to Jean St. Jean. I love how the ears are sculpted. I like the face. I like the teeth. Everything about it is just spot on, perfect as far as I'm concerned with the sculpt. And a pleasant surprise on this. It's a big figure, but it's pretty easy to stand. He doesn't have huge feet, but it's just nicely engineered. The joints are tight, and it's easy to stand this guy. It's easier to stand this guy than it was to stand the Himalayan Yeti. So I've been playing around with both of those. It stands on its own quite nicely, even though it's got these complex canine legs with extra joints. It's got a thigh swivel. It's got a knee joint here that bends back and forth like a regular human knee. And then it's got another joint down here so that you can have it crouched down. And then it's got the nicely articulated ankles with the swivel and the hinge joint. So amazing work, especially for Creature Replica, who's never, I don't believe, ever put out any action figures before. And look at that. I really like that, and because this figure is not quite as heavy as the Yeti. It doesn't have heavily bound or as heavily muscled thighs, and the torso is a little bit thinner, and the arms are thinner. I think that's what kind of makes it easier for it to stand on its own without the stand. Now, the one thing that I do take issue with is right here, the ratchet joints. Ratchet joints are put into an action figure joint so that it can stay nice and tight. I don't like the way they're visible here in the front. You can stand them straight up so they're not visible, but when you bend the legs, you can see the little ratchet joint thing there, and it takes away from the verisimilitude of the sculpt. So it's unfortunate. In the future, they might want to consider maybe removing that from the sculpt and putting in a little bit of hairy texture or something, because I don't think that would make that much of a difference. The paint is great. There are all different kinds of shades of brown and gray and white, and it just really makes the figure pop and stand out, even though it's a, basic color configurations. This also has a Himalayan Yeti beat in another way, in that it has a hinged jaw. Okay, my jaw, it doesn't open a huge amount for some reason. I don't know if mine is stuck, but it opens a bit and it can close all the way. So that's a nice feature that this has. It's great range of motion with the head. I love the sculpt of the ears in there. And just overall really happy with this guy. Don't have any bad things to say about him other than the little nitpicks with the ratchet joints in the knees showing. Let's see, the articulation works better on this one than the Yeti because he's not as muscle bound, so the abdomen and the waist articulation work really well. This guy has way more range of motion. And it also comes with a couple of pieces that are good if you're just going to sit and display it as It comes with a bit of a shirt, shredded shirt, and a couple of wrist cuffs, just to show that this was a man once and he was wearing a shirt, and I guess the shirt just ripped away. If you're going to move it around at all, these will just fall right off. So, but they're kind of cool little extras. I don't know what happened to his pants. Seems like he'd have pants left, but maybe the guy was running around Louisiana pantless before he transformed into a Rougarou and started eating people. I guess it's like, ooh, this goo for the belly stomach. This is the stand, and this is a nice piece of work as well. It's got the torso and the skull of probably one of the Rougarou's unfortunate victims there that have been decomposing in the swamp. It's got 3 pegs for Rougarou to stand with, and let's see, it's also very tight and very snug getting those feet in there, but he stands, you know, pretty well on his own, and he's a handsome